Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today M.O.D just filed an 8K announcing a new offering, and I am seeing some interesting details about how they are funding their growth. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. The company is essentially selling more shares to raise cash, and it looks like they are doing it at a pretty good price. So Modular Medical Incorporated is a company in the medical device space with a market cap around $24 million and about 53 employees. They are currently trading on the NASDAQ under the ticker symbol M.O.D, and we've seen some headlines recently about them raising money. This filing is an 8K, which is a report that publicly traded companies in the United States must file with the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, to announce major corporate events that shareholders should know about. Think of it as an urgent news alert for investors. The key date here is the 19th of April 2026. Which is when the event we are talking about happened. The main news is that Modular Medical Incorporated entered into an agreement called a Placement Agency Agreement. Essentially, they hired a company called Maxim Group LLC to help them sell a bunch of their company's stock. This is a way for them to raise money, and it is called a registered direct offering. They are planning to sell 750,000 shares of their common stock. The important number here is the approximately $3.375 million they expect to get from this sale before they pay fees and other costs. This is a pretty significant chunk of money for a company with a $24 million market cap. We've seen headlines confirming this raise is happening. The deal is expected to wrap up by the 21st of April 2026. Now, nothing in finance is free. They've agreed to pay the placement agent a fee of 7% of whatever money they raise. So on that $3.375 million, that is going to be a fee of roughly $236,000. Plus, they'll have to cover the agent's expenses up to $75,000. So the net proceeds will be a bit lower than the headline number. Here is something interesting that is typical in these types of deals. The company's own leaders, their directors and executives have agreed to lock up agreements. This means for 90 days they can't sell their own company stock without permission from the placement agent. This is usually to prevent insider selling from spooking investors right after a new offering. On top of that, the company itself is also restricted from issuing more stock or similar securities for 45 days after the deal closes. This is another measure to stabilize the stock price and prevent immediate dilution. They also mentioned that they put out a press release on the 19th of April 2026, announcing the pricing of this offering. This filing includes the actual placement agency agreement as an exhibit. So if you want to dig into the fine print, that document is available, and the press release is also attached. So what does this all mean for Modular Medical Incorporated? They are raising a good amount of cash, which is vital for a company of this size to fund its operations, research and development, or potential growth initiatives. The stock sale itself at about $4.50 per S-share. Based on the 3.375 million raise and 750,000 shares, seems like a reasonable price and not overly dilutive given their market cap. The lockup agreements for insiders in the company are standard practice to ensure some stability post-offering. Looking at the context, companies in the medical device sector often need significant capital to bring new products to market and scale operations. Competitors can be well funded, so staying competitive often means regular access to capital. A key question is how they plan to use these funds to drive future growth, and whether this will translate into improved financial performance down the line. The risk I am watching is whether this capital infusion will be enough to move the needle significantly for Modular Medical Incorporated, or if they will need further fundraising soon. What I am actually looking for is a clear plan on how this money will be deployed to create shareholder value. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description.